if you make that call and then you go and punch it as well as what he did, it was the right call.
Another long throw, they're testing them, blocked out to the edge of the area. Odegaard! Oh, it's saved! Saved by Donnarumma. That was an excellent save. That came through a crowd of players. Down to his right, he flung himself at it and was able to turn it round the post. That was hit with some power from Odegaard as well.
Wow, Arsenal can't believe they're not level in this tie. What a save down to the left. It bobbles out to the edge of the box. Super hit from Odegaard, keeps it low. Absolutely perfect, but what a reaction. And again, it's that low to the left-hand side. I mean, how quickly he can get down Donnarumma.
The pace that shot was hit.
Through the bodies as well, John. You know, he couldn't have been perfectly sighted to see that ball, but what a reaction. I mean, he's laying in a heap on the floor at the moment. He's not got up from that save.
No, he's down on his back. Whether he was winded by it, I'm not sure, because he went down with some force as well, because he had to go down very, very quickly, and shot on the edge of the penalty area. I mean, the ball was a blur.
It's a brilliant start from Arsenal. I mean, they couldn't have started this game any better. The confidence, the belief is going to give the team to think we can go on and win this tie. I mean, it's just something that PSG are going to have a look at. I think they're really pleased that they're having a bit of a break here, PSG. They've got a little bit of time just to have a chat with each other and get settled into this game.
And there's the cheer because Donnarumma is on his feet. They sent out their Russian goalkeeper, Matvey Safonov, who played at the weekend when they made 10 changes and lost to Liam Rosenior's Strasbourg on Saturday. But all of the big guns are back, with the exception of Dembele, who's on the bench. Whether we'll see him remains to be seen. But Arsenal continuing this excellent start, still in the first 10 minutes, still 0-0, but they could easily have scored one, maybe two goals. Corner then in towards the near post from Saka. That's headed back out to the far side. It's just clouted really with his left foot up in the air by Fabian Ruiz, and then it's out of play for another throw. And here we go again, the long throw, clear tactic tonight.
Yep. They're just setting it up. They're making this game as ugly and as physical as they possibly can, but they've had real flashes of quality in and around it so far.
Kivior comes up, he's at the near post. Marino's buzzing around. Here's the long flat throw from Partey. That's headed away to the edge of the area. Odegaard with a shot, that's blocked. Bounces back out. Partey lifts it across. Marino tries to get there. That's won in the air by Pacho for Paris Saint-Germain. Martinelli, well defended. Very difficult that was a super throw from Partey, and then Lewis Skelly is challenged and stays down, and PSG are off now, finally on the attack again. They've survived the pressure, but Hakimi, the groans from the PSG fans, told the story. The low cross, far too close to Raya, who was almost able to pick it up like a back pass.
Yeah, I think it's a case of sometimes too much time. Had a lot of time to get his head up. Declan Rice does brilliantly. He makes the run back into the defensive left-back position, which allows Saliba to stay in the box. I mean, Saliba decided that very early on he wasn't going to come out, because if he left that area, Arsenal were in big trouble, and it just panned out all right for them.
So it's still 0-0. Paris Saint-Germain 0, Arsenal 0, but we've already seen very good saves from Donnarumma, from Martinelli and from Odegaard to add to the saves that he made in the first leg when he kept a clean sheet at the Emirates. Arsenal, who have never come through a European tie when they've lost the first leg at home. 5 previous instances of that, Arsenal have gone out on every occasion. So history is against them, but this is a unique night, and they've started very well. The only thing they're lacking is a goal, but they have won another throw-in. So it's throw-in number 3, long throw number 3. These are as good as corners. Partey standing way off the pitch. A big wind-up. Here he comes. The long throw with power into the edge of the 6-yard box. Marquinhos heads that away. It's nodded back out by Saliba to Partey, who's able to control this. And Partey dummies to cross, then takes it away. Low bowling with his left foot, but straight into the path of João Neves, who is able to control that. And between them, Hakimi and João Neves are able to win a throw-in. Hakimi playing it off Martinelli and out for a throw. PSG 0, Arsenal 0. 5 live from the BBC.
I like Martinelli's start to the game. he really has taken it to Hakimi, unsettled him, tried to rough him up. Every time he's got the ball, he's knocked it outside of him, tried to run. He's really asking a question of the fullback and putting him under pressure.
Honestly, Matt, PSG have barely been out of their own half.
No, all we've been doing is watching to the left, haven't we? In that half of the pitch where Arsenal have just been controlling the game.
And in the build-up to this match last week, certainly over the course of the last couple of days when all of the talking has been going on, you know, I've quite often said that PSG here this season have been almost irresistible. But Arsenal are hanging their hats on that word, almost. Here's Martinelli. Martinelli taking on Hakimi, but that's a win for the Moroccan right-back. Strong challenge, out of play for a throw, but they're being tested in all defensive departments, PSG, and it's another long throw. This is number 4.
I think that is the point, John. They're being tested. So Arsenal have come here and they're asking question after question in a different way. It's a very different start from them than it was in the first leg at home. It really is a confident, aggressive start, and this must be what, the 5th throw in.
Here we go. It's another long one from Thomas Partey with a throw. Flicked on, but cleared away by Kvaratskhelia. Packed penalty area, and the flick, unfortunately for Arsenal, right at the feet of the Georgian. But Arsenal take up possession again as they play from right to left as we look here in the first half. So it is all heads left as Odegaard gives it away. And then PSG give it away. And Luis Enrique suddenly all in black tonight, apart from his trainers, his white trainers. He becomes so animated there. Luis Enrique, his Paris Saint-Germain team, who lost in the semi-finals last season, remember, as a turn in centre field, and actually there's been a collision there, but Arsenal continue the attack. Saka tries to take it on. He's claiming the final touch was off the defender, Pacho, but the assistant on the far side says no, free kick. And was it Declan Rice who collided in centre field?
I think it was Declan Rice who chipped the ball out wide, or it might have been Marino actually. I think Rice was arriving in the box and Marino had dropped deep to have the ball. But that's working out really nicely for Arsenal, because sometimes Rice will go beyond him and Marino drops into that familiar midfield role. It's a really nice interchange for that. And I think the reaction of Luis Enrique in that technical area, I mean, he's prowling that and coming out of the area very animated. Just a little indicator so early on to be like that. He's concerned about this start of his team here.
Yes, you can tell that from the body language. It's his birthday tomorrow. They went out of the Champions League on this day last year. So they went out of the Champions League in the semi-final on the eve of his birthday last year. 55 tomorrow. He was asked yesterday when I went out to the PSG campus, as they call it, their training ground, which is out on the edge of the city, out to the west, near Poissy. Very impressive it is, as it's given away by Nuno Mendes. Now Martinelli finds Marino, then to his right to Odegaard. Odegaard trying to find a position, no, but pass along the edge of the penalty area, wrong decision, gave it away, couldn't find a teammate. And now it's PSG who break away with the teenager Doué, who's carried the ball already 30 yards, but Arsenal are quickly back in position and they force him to play it back to little Vitinha with his hair bobbing. And the momentum of the breakaway has slowed. Although here is Barcola on the right-hand side. Bradley Barcola, who has played in every match this season for PSG. This is his 54th appearance of the season, whether as a starter or as a very effective substitute. 19 goals for him now this season. He scored the PSG goal against Strasbourg on Saturday.
I mean, we're 16 minutes into the game. It's the first time, I think, where I've felt like PSG have just had control of the ball, or certainly any possession in the Arsenal half. I mean, that's how well Arsenal have started this game.
But the frustration for them will be that they weren't able to get the ball into the net. And now Kvaratskhelia to Doué, back to Kvaratskhelia on the left-hand side. Right foot shot, oh, it hits the post, bounces down, and Lewis Skelly was able to get something on that, because Barcola was there, but Lewis Skelly was just able to see it back to Raya. Width of a post from PSG going in front.
It's just a horrible sight for a defender when Kvaratskhelia is coming inside on his right foot. I mean, he can go either way, but when he comes inside there, he's devastating. He gets the angle, what a shot off the post, and I mean, that would have been cruel for Arsenal had that gone in the back of the net.
I have to say, I thought it was in.
Yeah, I did.
Given the body language of Kvaratskhelia, the dive of Raya to his left, and also the reaction of the supporters.
He's nearly unstoppable when he's in that zone. I mean, the flow and the sway of his upper body when he's doing those step overs and dropping his shoulder and creating that half a yard to get the shot off, and then the shot is generally perfectly placed.
Ball played forward. The Doué won't reach that, and it bounces away through for a goal kick. Bounces into the ever-changing electronic advertising hoardings. I think all of the smoke has just about cleared now from all of the flares.
When you
and
look
the
at the lights, you can still see.
There's still a little bit of it hanging there
in front of the lights.
All manner of flags being waved in the ultras end to our left. The PSG 0, Arsenal 0, 1-0 to the French champions as Arsenal come forward again. Timber comes in field, and a yellow card is being shown.
It's Mendes, isn't it?
Is it Nuno Mendes?
I think it is.
Who's protesting to the referee. So that's interesting.
That's a positive thing for Arsenal.
Yeah, now Saka is going to be up against Nuno Mendes on an early yellow card, 18 minutes played.
Yeah, he went to ground to try and win the ball, didn't win the ball, and just caught his studs. It was a little bit of a reckless tackle, and the referee has come over and punished it early with a yellow card. I mean, he's not best happy about it. He just catches the foot of Timber as he's driving past him. I mean, it's not a horrendous tackle, but I can understand why the yellow cards come out.
Yes,
and now they've got to get him 1v1 with Saka more often.
So immediately, free kick taken, and it's given by Rice to Saka. Then back to Rice, though, and it comes out to Martinelli. Chests it down, but shoots into the crowded edge of the penalty area, and then excellent footwork from Vitinha. Dragged the ball back, curled the pass forward, but well defended, as Matt Upson says, by Miles Lewis-Skelly against Hakimi. And the margins for error were very fine for Lewis-Skelly there, as Timber bounces into a challenge. Now he has Saka again on the far side. Does well, comes in field. I thought he might have been caught by João Neves, but referee Zvaya's not interested in that. PSG have got it back on the edge of their own penalty area, and it's still 0-0.
Yeah, he's taken quite a hard line with the game, the referee. There's a couple of things that you might have considered a foul, and he's just waved play on. But that little piece of defending from Lewis-Skelly there, John, I can't tell you how difficult that was. The ball's bouncing over your head, you're running back towards your own goal, you're around the halfway line, you've got a player with the pace of Barcola bearing down on you, and he uses his body in such a mature fashion, this young player. He just gets his hips and his back and his backside around to shield the ball, and then swivels out with it. It was a lovely piece of defending.
And there's another excellent tackle by Timber on Kvaratskhelia. You know, the feel at the moment is good for Arsenal. You know, there's some impressive duels being won by Arsenal players in many areas of the field. And this belief that they talked about yesterday, well, they are producing so far, but still no goal. 20 minutes played. Arsenal going back to Partey on the halfway line. Here's Lewis-Skelly in a central position, just drags it back and plays it back to the halfway line. Odegaard out to the right, and then they will go back to the halfway line again. So 0-0 this night that is a giant fork in the road to Munich. Odegaard coming in from the right, thought about shooting but didn't in the end. Thought he might have let one go from the edge of the area. Instead, it's Martinelli taking on Hakimi, who gets his foot in. The ball rolls away behind for a corner.
Is that the point about Martin Odegaard there, John? Just did so well, drove with the ball, went past two players, got the momentum, then has that step inside the pitch a little bit more. He's got a lovely angle to just let that left foot go, and he chooses to offload it. That to me is, get that shot off. He's more than capable of scoring at that point.
Corner then from the left for Arsenal. This is corner number 3. Donnarumma just waits on his line, orange-backed gloves as his arms dangle by his sides. Then Arsenal players run in all directions. Here's the delivery, a little glance out to the edge of the area. PSG head on that. Odegaard couldn't get the shot in. Lewis-Skelly heads it forward to the edge of the box. Saka tried to lay it off. Bounces back to Saka, who works the pass forward. That's a nice touch from Marino. Now the ball in from the right-hand side from Timber, but it's too close to Donnarumma, who's able just to allow the ball to bounce up into his midriff.
Yeah, the snap into the tackle's good from Arsenal. The loose ball, anything that's dropping in the midfield or is a bit of a bouncing ball where two players are battling. I have to say, at the moment, they're coming out on more of those duels on top. And that's the problem for PSG. They're just not getting hold of the ball because Arsenal are just turning it over like they have done just now.
Given away again, Hakimi under pressure from Martinelli. Arsenal players working tremendously hard. And it comes back into the centre circle. Oh, and that's a little short to Kivior. The pass from Saliba. Now Barcolow's away, and then Doué, edge of the area. Doué shoots weakly, and Raya was able to go down to his right and save that. Really, a routine save. It opened up for PSG though, but they couldn't take advantage.
Well, Julien Laurent said the words before the game. Saliba can't have a mistake like he did against Madrid, like he did in the Premier League recently as well, and that was very much of that ilk. What a dangerous ball to play. It gets cut out, and really Arsenal should have been punished. It was a soft finish in the end from Doué. He should do better, but Saliba very lucky to be let off the hook there.
Yes, the Crystal Palace match, wasn't it?
It was Palace, yeah.
And Mateta scored so well in the 2-2 draw. Paris Saint-Germain 0, Arsenal 0. Arsenal, who've won their last 4 away matches in the Champions League. They'd never won 5 in a row away from home in the Champions League.
Yeah, well, just hopefully that's his mistake with the ball out of the way there, John.
Declan Rice in possession. He had an early chance as well with a header, didn't he? Which was Arsenal's first opportunity.
Yep.
Saliba then playing the ball forward to Marino. No Trossard in the team tonight. Forward to Lewis Skelly. Now on the left-hand side, from Timber actually, the pass out to Martinelli. Lewis Skelly on the overlap to his left, but he comes back in field with the ball to Odegaard. Odegaard goes right, then back out to the left again. Lewis Skelly, left-footed cross, that's very high. I think he's overhit it. No, it's still in play, but it's over the top of Saka. And then Nuno Mendes goes in on the challenge. Goes sprawling down. Did he win the free kick, or is it a throw-in? Yes, I think it's a free kick to PSG.
It is a free kick, but just how audacious that is from Mendes to actually run round Saka to try and win that ball is just a sign of the confidence that this PSG left-back has in himself, physically and with his pace, to dominate anyone. And I have to say, on the whole, I don't see him get beaten, John. I think he's the best in the world at the moment in that left-back position.
So 0-0 it is. Arsenal, who, as we mentioned last week, have not scored now in their last 6 semi-final matches. PSG with it at the back, but that's given away by Marquinhos. More drones, and Lewis Skelly's able to take it on towards the edge of the penalty area, but then blue, red and white shirts converge on him. It's brought away by Fabian Ruiz, then Vitinha has to hold off Odegaard, but he's got support and help from Saka, and Saka takes it on, but then going centrally, he ran into Vitinha. Fabian Ruiz passes it to Hakimi. Arsenal now need to get their defensive heads on again. Doué back to Hakimi, but PSG go back into their own half.
There's just a breakaway goal feeling around this match at the moment. Arsenal, it's almost too good to be true, John, in terms of how they're managing the game. And you just feel that Paris are going to have a breakaway situation, just like the one they had with the mistake from Saliba. That is the risk that Arsenal are running here. They're almost being too dominant with the ball, and you've got so many players committed forward that when it breaks down on the edge of the Paris box, they can be in big trouble because they've got such good quality and pace in the front three.
As Arsenal playing it out from the back, Raya passing it to Declan Rice, who had Kvaratskhelia all over him. It's a heavy touch from Rice from Raya's ball out, and Rice has fouled Kvaratskhelia, and it's a yellow card for the Arsenal midfielder.
I'm not too keen on the pass out in that area.
Well, that's gone wrong for Arsenal several times recently as well.
Again, it's for me that's to manage the game a bit. I mean, Rice, a pass into him is on, but you've got to bear in mind, even if he has a perfect touch there, John, what's he going to do with the ball? He's running back towards the corner of his own 18-yard box. He's got a group of players really in a high press after him. I don't think he can really wriggle out that with the best touch ever. He didn't have a good touch, which is why he made the foul, but it's not a pass for me that David Raya should consider at that moment. So
it's a yellow card apiece now. Declan Rice for Arsenal and Mendes for PSG, but this is a free kick. Good position. Vitinha is over the ball, and Arsenal holding a line probably a couple of yards inside their half. Kvaratskhelia comes across with his hand up to his mouth and whispers something to Vitinha. Right-footed free kick towards the back post. That's headed out by Partey to the edge of the area. Fabian Ruiz! Oh, he scored! Fabian Ruiz makes it 1-0 on the night to Paris Saint-Germain. And for all of Arsenal's pressure, for all of their chances, crowd of players past the dive of Raya. It's 1-0 to Paris Saint-Germain on the night. They've doubled their lead in the tie, 2-0 on aggregate.
Oh, what a hit from Fabian Ruiz. You can't take anything away from the quality of this strike, but it's another set play that Arsenal don't defend well enough. OK, Thomas Partey wins the first header, but he heads the ball back right into that edge of the box danger area where there's PSG players just lurking. Martinelli then just gets sucked in. He's running across the box where he's just got to put the brakes on, not try and win the ball, but just stop Fabian Ruiz from getting any kind of control on the ball. But he runs way past him. The touch to his left foot off his chest is brilliant. The ball is bouncing, and the strike, I mean, he really swings that left foot at the ball, but he gets a perfect connection, and it just drills past Raya. He's got no chance really of reacting. It's a brilliant finish, but you feel it's a goal that Arsenal should defend better.
Yeah. They'll be kicking themselves.
They will.
The way that the ball out from Raya, the conceding of the free kick.
Yeah.
That defensive header from Partey.
That's the difference. Those decisions, that game management experience at this level, they're the difference. Bringing that situation on themselves didn't need to happen.
Quite the contrast, the way that PSG have soaked up the pressure, and some pressure from Arsenal as well. But Arsenal couldn't find a way through. Donnarumma making the saves, and now the explosions of flares and the smoke pours down out of the stand behind the goal to our left. Odegaard crossing for Arsenal to the back post. That's headed down, but cleared away by Marquinhos on the edge of the area. Back to Saka on the right-hand side. So Arsenal now 2-0 down in the tie. This match tonight, they've got to win tonight, and they're losing. 1-0 at home, 1-0 away. That's given away by Lewis Skelly. Kvaratskhelia takes it on, passes it to Barcola. Barcola beats Lewis Skelly and shoots, and saved by Raya. As Rice came in with the challenge, Barcola couldn't finish, and if he had finished, that might have been Arsenal finished.
If I'm honest, the game is going in a style that's just really suiting PSG. Arsenal have started very well. They had so much of the ball, but when there's a mistake or a slightly short pass, wow, their counter-attack is swift, it's decisive, it's so sharp, and really, they should have had 2 goals on the break already, and it's only Declan Rice that manages to get back to stop the shot.
Here's the corner. Doué pulls it to the edge of the area. Hakimi's right underneath that, though, as Saka challenged him and hoisted the shot high over the top. It actually landed on this blue carpet that is behind the goal and all around the pitch. This PSG blue massive badge, Paris Saint-Germain. It landed right in the middle of the R of Paris. So 1-0 to PSG. Fabian Ruiz, the goal scorer, the Spanish international, part of the team that won the Euros last year, an important part of that team. That's his first goal in the Champions League this season for Paris Saint-Germain, and what an important one it was. PSG's eyes now very much closing in on Munich and the final against Inter at the end of the month. Saturday the 31st it is, on the evening of. And Arsenal, the task has just got a great deal harder. And yes, you know, they had chances. Kvaratskhelia with his shot against the post.
Yeah.
The chance as well that Doué had when he shot weakly at Raya. But the opening goal, the crucial opening goal, has gone to Luis Enrique's team.
The scary thing is, John, they've had all those chances and they barely had the ball. And that's what makes them an incredible team, because, yes, they can pop it around and build, but they're absolutely lethal in situations like this, when you've got to come out, you've got to try and press and force the issue, like Arsenal have to, being a goal down, 2 goals down now. But they become even more dangerous in this situation.
They do. As Kvaratskhelia, and the mood has changed as well. Inside the stadium here, we're sitting high up, just to the right of the halfway line, looking down on Luis Enrique. Mikel Arteta is out there as well. Various hand signals. Now he looks exasperated as well. Arsenal coming forward though. Timber with a cross. It's a deep one. Rice backs away. Rice heads it across. It's hooked goalwards by Marino, but it drops wide of the top right corner, with Donnarumma scampering across his 6-yard box. It's behind. It's a goal kick. And this noise now, listen to this, inside this stadium. the sound of a jubilant, a buoyant Paris Saint-Germain.
Well, Arsenal have had all the ball, but PSG have had all the moments, and I include Donnarumma in that. Two cracking early saves in this game when they're under real pressure, and then the attacking play that's followed after. You know, that's the difference in this game. Their players have really stepped up in those moments and produced something.
Goal kick from Donnarumma, forward from Rice, but that will just run away for PSG. Hakimi chasing it, and there is the feeling here inside the stadium, there is the feeling that PSG have weathered the storm. But Arsenal have got other ideas. Here's Rice. Rice receives it from Odegaard, stretching forward, passes it to Martinelli on the left-hand side. Got a shove in the back there. As a result of that, carried the ball out of play. If he'd gone down, he might have won a free kick, but it's a goal kick to PSG. Let me just tell you as well that over the course of history in the Champions League, there have been only 2 cases of teams who have lost the first leg at home, yet still gone on to win that semi-final and get through to the final. And this is where I'm offering a crumb of hope here, because the most recent of them was Tottenham against Ajax back in 2019. They lost 1-0 at home against Ajax, if you remember, and then went 2-0 down on the night. So they were 3-0 down, and then Lucas Moura came and scored the hat-trick in the second half. So let's not give it up just yet.
No, but it took one of the craziest moments in European football to make that happen, didn't it? To turn that around, and that's what Arsenal need now.
Yep, 6 years ago tomorrow that was. So that means 6 years ago today was Liverpool's comeback against Barcelona the night before. PSG with the ball with Pacho in his left-back area, chips it forward and it drifts out of play. And after all of that smoke cleared, we're back to square one, aren't we? Still one red flare is burning away in the top tier. I'm sure they've got their plans already, these PSG supporters, and they will bring real life to Munich for that final, if that were to be the case. Arsenal in the PSG left-back area, but that breaks down. PSG have got it back, and Kvaratskhelia dancing forward with the ball. He's fouled, and that's a free kick to the home side, halfway inside their own half. So 10 minutes to go to half-time, Matt. PSG 1, Arsenal 0, 2-0 on aggregate.
Yeah, difficult situation for Arsenal now, and they've just got to be careful. The body language doesn't change. The belief is still there. There's 2 goals that they need to find now in this incredibly difficult situation against a team that is so hot on the break. They really are. Any slipped pass or misread or weight of pass is wrong, they're on it, and they've got runners going forward, so they've got to be aware of that, Arsenal. They just want to have a good 10 minutes into half-time and then regroup.
Arsenal win the ball back over there on the far side. Saka now direct, running towards the edge of the penalty area. Cross comes in from the right-hand side, it's deflected. Only half-headed away by Pacho after Rice put the ball in. Rice chases him over there out into the left-back area, but Pacho gets there first and blasts it out of play for a throw into Arsenal nearer the halfway line. There is 5 Live Champions League final score tonight, by the way. You can listen to us, to the 5 Live commentary, alongside the final score graphics. That is on the BBC Sport website and app. It's on the red button, or you can look on the iPlayer as well. Just click on 5 Live final score. And the highlights are on BBC One, Champions League match of the day later, after the news. And if you haven't seen them yet, you really want to watch the highlights of last night, which was extraordinary. And they'll be available on the iPlayer as well from, I think, 10 o'clock onwards. But match of the day on BBC One tonight. So at the moment, you'll be watching Fabian Ruiz's goal. 1 goal in the first leg for PSG. So far, 1 in the second for the French champions. But Marino heading it to Rice. Rice's shot, that's blocked. Comes out to Odegaard. Odegaard then finds Martinelli. Martinelli, who made a good start against Hakimi, slips the ball past him, but there was defensive cover there from João Neves. Martinelli, though, does well, gets the ball in, then the shot on the edge of the area from Timber. That too blocked by Paris Saint-Germain on the edge of their own penalty area, and then the ball is lifted forward by Saliba, bounces on the left corner of the penalty area. A high foot from Martinelli, but it's not giving us a free kick because Hakimi's brought the ball away and he's still going, so Arsenal have to get back, and then just dinks it past Lewis Skelly. That was cool. Doué then with the pass, but he's overhit that, and Arsenal will have to clear through Saliba, which they do, but that's given away. Headed forward, João Neves is onto this, moving infield, 25 yards out. He's got Kvaratskhelia. I'd use him if I was him. Kvaratskhelia then into the area, but Saliba comes across and is just able to, with his right foot, clear it away desperately.
Well, when he gets those jinky feet moving at players, it's very difficult to stop Kvaratskhelia. Nearly impossible, I'd say. Just poked it through there, trying to get the other side. But the big surprise with him, and I've seen it a lot tonight, he's made about 2 or 3 really important blocks in his own 18-yard box. He really does give protection to Nuno Mendes in the left-back position, and he works incredibly hard defensively.
João Neves has been dispossessed by Thomas Partey, but then the pass is overhit and PSG have got it back in their own half. At half-time, we will be crossing to Rome again. Russell Fuller is there at the tennis in Rome. We're not far away from Roland Garros here, are we? It's just a stone's throw away. Court Philippe Chatrier, which I've seen in the flesh, as it were, for the first time since it was rebuilt. Very impressive it is, as the ball is taken down by Doué. So we will be hearing from Jack Draper at half-time with Russell. I heard Russell say it was a little bit chilly in Rome. It's a lovely temperature here tonight. You know, not warm at all, really.
No, you couldn't get better conditions for a football game. I mean, there's barely any breeze. It's a nice, cool evening, slick pitch in a stadium like this. I mean, no better place to be playing or watching football at the moment.
No, not as cool as Bordeaux, though, according to Paul Robinson.
Yeah, Bordeaux sounded a bit nippy, didn't it?
It did, Bordeaux. So Alistair Bruce Ball will be getting there as well if he isn't there already. So that's what you'll be hearing on 5 Live tomorrow night, and that should be a tremendous listen to hear the sounds of Norway as Tottenham go there and try to reach the Europa League final, whereas the Manchester United match will be live from Old Trafford on Sports Extra. So a great choice of listening for you tomorrow night, and obviously we'll be with Chelsea as well to see if they can claim their place, which they should, in the conference final. But it's PSG going through to the Champions League final with this scoreline, 1-0. Very enjoyable first half. Arsenal have been very, very good, but PSG, they couldn't find a way through, and Fabian Ruiz scored that goal just short of the half hour. Here is Vitinha, the little former Wolves midfielder, who's certainly come on leaps and bounds here at the Parc des Princes. That's given away by Hakimi, but it's won back by João Neves. He's into the area now. Doué, lots of Arsenal players back, a back heel, and João Neves' touch takes it away from PSG, and it's cleared away by Timber to the halfway line. And then forward from Pacho and out of play for an Arsenal throw.
I'll tell you how quickly is João Neves into the tackle, John. Wow. He is snapping about in that midfield. Any little loose ball, if you don't protect that ball with your body well enough, he, with his real low centre of gravity and quick feet and that kind of stocky, quite strong build, but he's very light on his feet. He just gets after the ball, and he can get low in and around your ankles, around your hips, and he just gets a toe on the ball and he scurries after it. He's such a good midfield player out of possession.
Yes, the Portuguese, sturdy little figure, isn't he? 20 years old. They paid 60 million euros, at least 60 million euros for him from Benfica, Paris Saint-Germain. But they are defending right now. Arsenal on the attack as the first half moves into the last 5 minutes. Cross from the right-hand side, that's headed down and away by Pacho and then cleared further away towards the halfway line. Kiwior, the Polish international central defender, his ball to the edge of the box. That's just cleared up in the air by Nuno Mendes. Forward from Rice, but PSG have got that one away as well. Hakimi lost his footing. Plays it infield though to João Neves, and PSG have got it safely back near the edge of their own penalty area. They've got more of a measure of control now, PSG.
Yeah, and the atmosphere has changed on the ground, isn't it? There's a calmness and a relaxed atmosphere now. It was a little bit edgy in that first 15 minutes.
So Arsenal with the ball on the right. In comes the challenge from Doué this time. Doué back there almost in his own left back position. That's been a feature, hasn't it? Barcola, Doué, Kvaratskhelia, as you've said, really helping out the back line. But here's Sakat now, lovely ball into the middle. Marino dives for it, but couldn't get any meaningful touch on that at the near post edge of the 6-yard box, and it was through him in a flash and beyond goal kick.
They need something, Arsenal. They need something like this to go in, a toe from Marino into the far post, just anything to get them back in this game, because at the moment they're creating good situations without that real final product.
must-win match tonight for Arsenal, otherwise they're out. These are the two clubs that have played the most matches in this competition without actually going on to win it. And only one French club has ever been European champions, winners of either the European Cup or the Champions League, and that's their big rivals Marseille, Chris Waddle's old team, when they won it back in 1993. And as our friend in the bistro, Akil, told us last night, Marseille won it in Munich. And this year's final is also in that great Bavarian city. As Kvaratskhelia turns on the halfway line, he was challenged by Timber, wanted a free kick for that. Referee Zvaya's not interested.
He's got good football knowledge, our friend Akil, hasn't he?
It's incredible football knowledge.
Unbelievable what he knew about English football and European football.
Yeah. Yes, and he was a little edgy about this, but I think confident. He's already made his plans for Munich. As Raya, long pass downfield from him. Saka on the chase. Nuno Mendes is with him. They're into the penalty area now on the right-hand side. Gets the ball across, cleared away by Marquinhos, though. There were two men in there, Rice and Martinelli, but Marquinhos was able to find himself in the right place. Then Hakimi with a long pass. Barcola taking on Lewis Skelly down the right wing. He's able to get the ball down, plays it across. Doué on the edge of the area, the teenager. Beats Kivior, right foot shot into the body of Lewis Skelly, who's gone down. Might have hit him in the face, actually. And therefore the referee stopped play, much to the frustration of the PSG supporters. So Lewis Skelly stays down. And at that moment, I noticed Mikel Arteta and Luis Enrique both almost in unison there, turned around, walked back, picked up a water bottle, and returned to their coaches on the bench.
Yeah, breaking play where they can just take their eyes off this game. I mean, it is intense. There's little jewels and little moments on the pitch all the time, and this one, I mean, it's a fair old hit from Doué, and it does catch Lewis Skelly. He gets side on, and the ball strikes him right just underneath the ribs. Really took the wind out of his sails.
Yeah, so it's going to be a drop ball. The referee just goes across to Doué to explain what he's going to do.
I mean, I know it's not a head injury, but I think the referee's right to, you know, probably stop the game. A lot of people would argue and say should have played on, but
so he's dropped the ball and now he's asked to get it back. Not sure what happened there. Anyway, he's dropped the ball and Doué unchallenged, so it's an uncontested drop ball really. And Doué plays it back to Hakimi. Half-time approaching. We're on the last minute of the first 45. Paris Saint-Germain 1, Arsenal 0. 2 minutes. Oh, here we are.
2 minutes.
There we are. You'll have heard that. 2 minutes. Ball's out of play for a throw to PSG over there on the far side, halfway inside their own half. I mentioned that we are a stone's throw away from Roland Garros, stone's throw away from the Seine as well, not far from the Bois de Boulogne. I asked Julien Laurent before the match, what is that in French? How would you say a stone's throw? And it is à quelques encablures. A stone's throw.
I thought that was going to come out differently then.
Did you?
For a moment.
Raya is able to get the ball downfield, and Rice strides on, gives it to Odegaard. Now here's Saka in added time. Saka's ball across, but Hakimi is able to position himself perfectly. Martinelli behind him. And left-footed, he clears it out of play on the far side. And Martinelli, frustration there, just followed on through and kicked the post.
Well, he's got to get across the face of him. You know, Arsenal are going to run out of opportunities to make these situations count. I mean, it's a good position from Hakimi. He tucks right in where he should be, but Martinelli has to make that happen.
Back to the long throws from Arsenal. Partey comes off the head of Vitinha, but up in the air it went. And then Donnarumma arrives, throwing himself headlong to catch the ball. Like a green flash he was, and he's got it safely in his hands. And it's been the story of the first half really. Arsenal have been good, but
not quite good enough. Not quite good enough to just make those chances count. And a little bit of that is PSG, i.e. Donnarumma, has really made 2 excellent saves. So that could have been very different in that first 10 minutes if he doesn't get down to make that save from Odegaard. You know, the pitch is completely different.
Kvaratskhelia has fouled Saliba, so that's a free kick to Arsenal near the right corner of the box. Well, coming here tonight, we knew that either Arsenal or PSG, by the end of the evening, would be appearing in a second Champions League final. And as the half-time whistle goes with this scoreline, it is going to be Paris Saint-Germain leading through that Fabian Ruiz goal, that well-struck goal from the edge of the area following the free kick. But Arsenal thinking of the chances that they've had. Mikel Arteta, Declan Rice yesterday, saying that they needed magical moments, and so close, particularly really the chance for Martinelli, Odegaard as well with that fiercely struck shot, but Donnarumma making the saves as he did at the Emirates.
Yeah, they've laid the foundation. It's had the substance to the performance has been excellent. They've asked a question. I think they've been aggressive. They've taken the game to PSG. They've unsettled them in the opening 15 minutes. But what he said in the press conference about the magical moments, they've been on the other side. They've produced those. The goalkeeper's produced a moment. Fabian Ruiz has produced an outstanding finish. So that's why they're behind. And that, I guess, is what this competition's all about. The quality of player that can do things like they've done, and Arsenal just haven't put the finishing touches to that.
Yeah, so half-time here. Suddenly, you know, it feels like the atmosphere that's been bubbling throughout the course of the first half has just lulled a little. And 1-0 at half-time. Paris Saint-Germain 1, Arsenal 0, 2-0 on aggregate.
It is compelling, is this Champions League semi-final second leg. And Matt, with half an hour gone, Arsenal could have been 2-0 up or 3-0 down.
Yeah, you're right, they really could. And for Paris to be as devastating and as cutting as what they were, not having the ball chappers, I mean, they just didn't have it. But they didn't seem to mind. They've got a goalkeeper that's pulling out saves like the one he did for Martin Odegaard's shot. I think the wide players have defended well. They're punching their weight okay in terms of dealing with the throw-ins, and it just hasn't dropped for Arsenal. But then to go and do what they did and look so dangerous, I mean, it's a tough one for Arsenal to crack, isn't it? Because the more ball and the more control you have, sometimes you're even more vulnerable at that point.
I mean, that is one of the great saves, isn't it? And
I think so.
One of the reasons I say that is, you know, I've done enough with Joe Hart this season for him to tell me about wherever the shot is from, you then have to look from where a goalkeeper actually sees it from. And he probably had 7 yards maybe to react to a shot that was absolutely thumped. I mean, it wasn't curled or anything, it was thumped.
That could have been as fiercely hit a shot as I've seen all season.
It was travelling. And it was along the turf as well, so it wasn't even one of those that had a little bit of height to it. It was going right along the ground, and it was through all of those bodies. And you know, it was interesting that we had that detailed chat with Robbo, wasn't it, before the game about these situations and the reaction time. And he was quite close to his line, wasn't he? So he had come out a couple of yards, which maybe, as Robbo explained, gave him the time to actually get down, because to be that big and then get down to your ankles in that low to react like that, it's not easy. So he gives himself the reaction time in order to do it. And what a fabulous save, and what a contribution he's made to this game.
And tactically, really, until the goal, Arsenal were absolutely spot on, weren't they? I mean, Timber was high, Lewis Skelly was inverted, Odegaard was playing off Marino and would also then drop for any corner or long throw to pick it up on the edge of the box. I mean, they had Paris Saint-Germain for that first 20-25 minutes.
Yeah, they needed the goal, chappers, didn't they? Do you not think, you know, if you're going to start that well here, you need one of those throw-ins to drop and somebody hook one in, or for Donnarumma not to produce such a brilliant piece of goalkeeping. They needed something in that period to go their way, and when it didn't, and then you saw the break of PSG, and Kvaratskhelia just scares me to death when I see him just touching that ball, arriving in that corner of the 18-yard box. If you're a fullback, you are just, your head's thinking, what do I do here? He can go outside, inside, he runs at you, he goes through you, whatever it may be, and he does it with such speed that he's just a joy to watch.
Maybe, John, the only shot that's been hit harder was the actual Paris Saint-Germain goal.
Oh, well, I know. I think Odegaard's was. I think it was. I mean, it was very well hit. But I'm saying Odegaard. Honestly, it was a blur.
Yeah. I mean, Arsenal weren't great with the defending on that set piece, though, Chavs. I think they let themselves down with that. Martinelli's got to put the brakes on. Partey heads it right back into that danger area. Those little fine details were just out, and that's where they paid the price.
And Julien Laurent, who is alongside John and Matt as well, and yet, for everything that we've just discussed about where Arsenal had the advantage, Paris Saint-Germain should really be home and dry now, shouldn't they?
Yeah, I think so. Apart from the goal, there's those two counter-attacks really that they didn't play well. The one for Doué on the Barcola interception, really, and then the one for Barcola that Kvaratskhelia gives him, where PSG is just so good. Fabian Ruiz again in one touch puts him through, but then when you've suffered so much for the first half hour, if you're PSG, you're also lucky that you haven't conceded, really, because